What's up? It's your boy Reemus, and I did a video basically talking about the science of no-fap and semen retention and the reasons why you might want to try it. But we looked at the the science behind it, the spiritual aspect behind it. But then, I wrote my own journal tracking up to like 120 days. That's like, I think that's 4 months. And it was interesting. But I'm not someone that's hardcore in the no-fap community, so I'm not gonna give you any lies or falsifications. I'm not gonna exaggerate. I'm just gonna give it to you. Like, if it works, it works. If it doesn't, it doesn't. The reason why I tried it, right, is because basically I kept watching porn, right, over and over, like every couple days. So my energy never got. It's time to rise up, right? Because as it's trying to rise up, boom, you watch porn again, you jack off, you let go, you watch porn again, boom, and it goes down. But when you don't, it literally just goes up. It goes up. Now, I noticed this by accident almost, because one time I just didn't do it for time, and I was on the phone to my girl at the time, and then she was saying like, "Why are you shouting?" I'm like, "What are you talking about? I'm not shouting." She's like, "You're shouting right now," because I'm on the phone to her. I'm speaking passionate. And I'm like, it dawned on me. I was like, I'm actually not shouting. I'm just speaking passionate because I got so much energy. And I explained that to her. And then I realized the reason why is because I didn't touch myself or whatever for like the week or something. And I realized she was getting the result of that energy being built up. And I was like, just hearing it out. And I'm speaking louder. My voice is strong. So then I started doing the journal. And I literally wrote down like day 5 how I feel, day 10 blah blah blah. So let's go through it, right? Day 2 to 3, this is what I wrote. I felt a bulge of energy in my chest, a stronger voice tone, a passionate voice. Sometimes I speak a bit too loud by accident. That's the phone call. Day 5 to 7, there's a continuation of the same benefits from before, but now I'm feeling a tightness around my inner thigh. Bottom of my testicles has a sharp ache to it, but it's not unbearable, just uncomfortable. A slight stinging sensation at the end of the tip in a throbbing go and come back way. Now, I don't know if I'm exaggerating at this point, but from my memory, I felt like at that time, I just felt like my little man wasn't used to it. That might actually be kind of crazy, but I remember feeling a bit uncomfortable down there. Day 8, this is what I wrote. Waking up extremely horny and it's uncomfortable. This is also the time I started doing Kegel exercises. And if you don't know Kegel exercises, that's like strengthening your PC muscles, which is the muscle between your arsehole and your dick, like that muscle there. And when you can control it, you can control when you bust more by like, tensing it, relaxing it, all of this stuff. There's a whole book on it that I read, and I'll do a review on that like one day. So day 9, I said I'm listening to alpha affirmations because I wanted to run off that energy. Day 11, in an explosion of energy, I'm ranting to myself. Like, at the time I was ranting to myself like, why is life like this? I gotta get, I was just super ambitious. That was the feeling, and I'm super ambitious anyway. But it was just bursting out of me. I'm feeling a strong urge to combat the resistance. No, I'm feeling an extreme urge to combat resistance, conquer, and fight. I want a problem. Not only do I not care what anyone thinks, I want to provoke them just to show them I don't care at all. I want an enemy so I can exercise power. It's so intense that it could also be considered a mental breakdown or an overload, because I'm feeling a tiny bit crazy and it's hard to handle. I may have to exercise or work a bit harder to use the energy off. I also feel like I'm in love with the world. I'm finding the rain beautiful and the river, which I never look at, as beautiful. I feel more inspired. It's like I'm high on drugs that make you overcomplicate, overcomplement things. The daily meditation may be assisting in this though. It may not just be because of no-fap. So with this, this is how I feel anyway. I'm not gonna lie. I feel like this a lot of the time. So it's hard to actually say if it's no-fap or I'm just feeling masculine because of another reason. But we clearly see this is like the exponential effect of like that masculine energy building up in you. I want to conquer. That women don't wake up and want to conquer the world. That's just, the feminine woman does not do that. Masculine energy makes you feel like that, though. You know what I mean? Alexander the Great, when he was conquering, I guarantee he had that same feeling in my chest that I was feeling, and the same feeling in your chest when you want to, you know, go get £1 million or whatever it is. So anyway, day 12. I said, I'm having hormonal mood swing. All right, am I having hormonal mood swings? I think I can see why people struggle with it, because I can feel some emotional spikes which feel a little uncontrollable. My emotions are experiencing highs that are a bit awkward. I think reading this back, I read this as like crazy, that like all of this was felt at, you know, 2 weeks into it, because I'm thinking like, damn, it's crazy. Like, I think at that time I was actually struggling to go 2-3 days without doing it. Like at this point, day 12 was difficult. Like, it was like, whoa, I'm at day 12. So anyway, day 13, and you see what I'm saying. I'm actually starting to miss touching myself now, not because of the physical feeling, but almost because I feel like doing it is a ritual where I'm spending time with myself. And that's what I'm realizing with this temptation to relapse, but I'm not going to. I've come too far. Yeah, maybe if you're at day 13 or maybe day 50, you're feeling the same way. I think at this point I was actually really struggling. I think I was really struggling at this point. So anyway, for the next 2 weeks, I didn't really say anything, but then I wrote day 30. What I've realized is this is easy when you have a reason for doing it. Even when the body is a little tempted to do it, I see that this is the body. It's not me actually wanting to do it. That other part of me doesn't want to die, like the part that likes doing that. And that's what's happening. You're killing that part of yourself that does that. Like it's like another person in you, and he wants to do it. And when you stop doing it, he's dying. So he don't want to die. He's gonna say to you, he's gonna say, no, but just do it for like a minute and it will be okay. Like, just do it for 30 seconds. Boom, then you relapsed. But anyway, I went on to say, but I have to realize that it's something separate to me, and that unfortunately for it, I have to let it die, or at least be dormant. I think dormant is a good way of looking at it. Day 45. I haven't noticed any significant changes since day 30. It feels like automatic mode, and there's really no difference in feeling. I suspect that after 30 days, you plateau. So after 30 days, I did feel like the and coming up. You know, I felt that ambition, I felt that masculine energy, but after 30 days, I didn't really feel any change. I just felt like at the same level. So then at day 60, I said, I had a little urge to do it at times, but really, it feels easy now. Even when my body wants to do it, I feel as if I just have to put it in its place and not listen. Even when it feels hard, it's actually easy because I've separated myself. But I nearly slipped up though because of an Ash Cash leak. That is so funny. If you know who Ash Cash is, they call her the demon on Reddit on Reddit forums. But I think maybe that was like day 65 that would have been, but I wrote it as day 60. There was like a not OnlyFans league, but one of those type of leagues for Ash Cash. I don't know if that's how you say her name, Ash Cash or something. And she be doing crazy shit. Like the way she gives head to me is like crazy. Like, she looks like she is a fucking whore. Like, she loves it. So when you're watching it, right, you're looking at this very cute exterior, but she's just got a demon in her. She loves it. So I started watching that. I nearly relapsed, but I stopped myself. I shouldn't even talk about it because it might make you want to relapse. But day 75, there was a period where my body was really frustrated and the spirit of lust was continuously felt. So I touched myself and watched porn to simply satisfy that feeling. I didn't nut though. And afterwards, I actually felt better and less tempted. Yeah, so I don't know if it's because of that Reddit leak thing. Maybe it sparked something. But I remember at that time, I was burning. I was actually burning. Day 30 to 60, I wasn't burning. Day 60 to 75, I remember like, gotta do it, right? So I thought to myself, let me just do it because, and not come. Because I'm actually defeating the purpose of why I'm doing it. The reason why I did it is because I wanted to be more focused. But if I'm actually now, if I'm more, like less focused because of the fact I'm thinking about it, it's actually on my mind more, then that defeats the purpose of why I was doing it. So yeah, I did it, but I didn't. I just watched it for a bit, but I didn't nut or anything. Now get to day 90. So this is 3 months now. 3 months has come, and at this point, it almost feels as if I haven't even noticed. This feels easy now, like I could do it forever. But would I really want to do that? I definitely feel weird about the idea of having sex with a random girl though, and nutting in her. Like I felt like it made me respect the fact that like my cum is actually life. It's actually life. It is, because if you shoot into a girl, you're creating life. But more than that, when you come, you've lost a bit of your life expectancy, even if it's just by a day. Like technically, you lose your life expectancy, and I spoke about that in the last video, about the science behind it, right? So that's why I wrote that. Yeah, I said the idea of nutting in a random girl, it's a little bit of a turn off, even if she were to be pretty. But to be fair, I haven't really been speaking or seeing any girls, so I wouldn't be able to accurately tell. So at that time, like when I was doing this, I didn't even speak to chicks. Like you could be speaking to chicks here and there. I said I want to go 4 months without even speaking to a chick, right? And at this time, like I had a on and off girl, so day 100. So apart from her, we were speaking, but she wasn't even in the country. So, you know, apart from that, we was not speaking, and then we stopped speaking, and I just stopped speaking to all girls. Like I just didn't want to speak to anyone. Day 100 to 110. One thing I'm seeing is that men have a hormonal cycle, I think, because it seems each month there's a week in which I feel horny, or maybe it's just me, but this time feels extremely uncomfortable. Like my mind is really on the spirit of lust. Not porn, but just on women in general. But that's not the main feeling. Every time my dick rubs against my arm or just something, it feels extremely sensitive. Like I'm gonna test it and see if this horniness goes away after 1 week. If after 1 week it doesn't go away, I'll consider touching myself to alleviate the feeling of frustration, which is beginning to mess with my focus. So this is what I was talking about, like around day 60, 75, where now I'm like literally itching. Like I wake up, I was waking up too horny, didn't like it. My dick was extra sensitive, and I felt like that was messing with my focus, which is against the reason why I was doing it. So anyway, we get to day 115 to 120. One thing I see is how addictions can creep back up on you. Within a 3-4 day period, I slowly began to expose myself to that, to porn and the idea of touching myself, right? So I started thinking about porn. Then I started watching like it. I didn't even watch it. I just went on the thing and just added shit to the playlist, right? But I didn't even watch anything. Then I did watch something. So it slowly crept back on me. So let me look through here. Yeah, it first started with me just looking at the unopened window of porn. Like literally the tab was there. I didn't even open it. And I was thinking about it. Then I graduated to opening up the window and looking but just not playing, which is what I just said. The next day I watched and downloaded some, but I didn't touch. So I just like, I saw a thumbnail that looked good, I just downloaded it, but I didn't even touch myself. The next day I watched some porn while eating food, but I didn't touch. And because I'm not touching, I'm thinking I have it under control. Then the next day, after being sexually frustrated, you wake up early one morning. I woke up early one morning. I decided to watch a couple of videos, but that turned into 10 tabs, and after watching 5 videos, I felt under control because I stopped myself. But then I watched another, maybe this was the next day or something, and then I hit the point of no return, and I couldn't stop myself. Then I nutted. Then I was in shock. So after 120 days, this ends in a sad story, like if we're in the No-Fap community. And the streak ended. But it's not as bad as you think, and I'm gonna say why. This is what I wrote. But it did feel great, it felt amazing, and it felt like a weight off of my shoulders, because the pressure was beginning to contradict the reason that I wanted to do No-Fap. The way I see it, it's better to nut once and potentially lose energy for 1 to 2 days, as opposed to being frustrated and lack focus for a period of 10 plus days. It also makes me see that personally, I don't need to do more than 30 days. Within 30 days is the time in which most changes are felt, and after that, nothing. I certainly still don't plan on nutting in a woman that's not my girlfriend, for sure. Like, that's the intention at least. But I want to have that experience with a girl where I'm really into it, and the payoff of never nutting is just not worth it to me. Although I still want, although I still don't want to nut all the time, maybe I'll limit it to once every 30 days to suit my personal goals. So I like this, right? Because a lot of people, they're like super into it, where it's like, you could never nut. And it makes sense. I'm not saying like you shouldn't think like that, but I'm saying for me, I can adapt the science of it and the reasons behind it by I can customize the personal plan for the reason that I actually want to do it. Like, I don't want to go 50 days not nutting if it then makes me lose focus that whole time and I'm thinking about it and I'm extra sensitive. So for me, I learned a lot because it kind of hit me on balance. Like, it actually, since then, this was like, this is recent, but it's like a couple months ago now, right? When I wrote this journal. And since then, like, I do value just not nutting all the time. So I've taken the lesson that I've learned from No-Fap. I don't do it all the time. I don't watch porn all the time. Sometimes I can hit myself into discipline a bit easier than I did, or a lot easier than I did before. And I will never ever, I believe, I will never ever be in that period where I'm just caught in the cycle of doing it every 2 days, every night, and I can't stop myself. Like, now I'm actually offended at the idea of that. And when it comes to women, they actually have less control over me in terms of lust. Like, I wanted to do it to control the lust. I feel like I have. Even if I nut a couple times. For me, I've achieved the goal because I'm not as lustful as before. So I never like pictures on Instagram of girls, like random girls. I'll never do that. If I was supporting someone, yeah, I'll do that. Like, I'm following them, maybe I'll do that. But I never will go on like an IG model and a bad bitch, go on her thing, just scroll through the whole time, spend a fucking 10 minutes just going, oh my God, she's so beautiful, like all her pictures and lust over. Never. So it did help me control myself in terms of like, her ass can't have power over me. Her ass, it just don't. Like, I've experienced going 4 months without it. If a girl ever tries to take away the pussy, take it. You can take it. I push it away, actually. Do you get what I'm saying? So it did help me break the spell. To be honest, I didn't really have there wasn't really that much of a strong spell, but it just totally took off all of the spell that a woman could have over me if she tries to use her pussy. But now I'm going to say, I did other notes, what I've learned, the negative, and my goals going forward. So What I've learned, this is what I wrote at that time, that I don't necessarily need sex, and this enables me to remove it from remove a woman's power over me. That's what I just said, basically. It helped me see that I should also be healthy in other areas. That was a big thing. If you do no-fap, you're very likely to you're very likely to start looking at other areas of your life and start trying to improve that. Like, it can hit you on balance. Like, it can hit you on course to, like, do healthy eating, work out, dedicate more hours to what you're doing. It helps me understand the nature of addictions more so I can control myself. The negative, I didn't really experience any difference after 30 days. Like, I know people go, oh, you go to 100 days, it keeps going up. For me, that never happened. Like, I felt as normal as I did on day 30. From day 30, day 45, it was all the same. It's not too advantageous if you're already motivated. So if you're already someone that's super motivated, which I already was, like, I wasn't lazy before doing this, definitely not. So if you're already someone that's super motivated, super on your shit, then maybe it's not going to make that much of a difference for you. Another one. It can feel frustrating at times, which can mess with your focus. So it felt a bit pointless, which is kind of goes back to what I'm saying before. If it messes with my focus, then it kind of goes against what I actually wanted to do it for. But definitely self-discipline is important as a man. This is a funny one. It made my dick shrink. At that time, my dick got smaller, for sure. My dick got smaller. Like, I think past day 30, my dick was looking smaller, like, when it wasn't hard. And I was like, what the hell is going on? Now, at that time, as I said, like, after I went through a period where I just wasn't speaking to any girl at all. So, like, it didn't really matter at that point. But yeah, I don't want that side effect. I'm just being real with you. Also a negative, it makes you prone to busting quicker, because obviously your dick's not used to it. That makes sense. So this is the last thing I'm gonna say. Yeah, this is the last thing I'm gonna say on it, and then we're gonna end the video. My goals going forward: to definitely limit the amount of times I nut. Try to stick to once every 30 days. Limit time I watch porn, no more than once every week. I feel I should touch myself at least once a week to train my dick to handle pressure. And I think for me, this is just very personal. Like, I feel like my dick's getting worked out. So when I am with a woman, then it's like my dick's ready. He exercised. I'm just keeping it real. That's how I feel. So, yeah, since then, I don't, like, I have much more control over watching porn. Like, even last night, I kind of wanted to watch it. This morning I did. I was like, nah. And it's easy to do that. It's easier for me to go, no. And that's it. I just listen. So, yeah, sometimes I do slip into this pattern where I come more than I want to. Like, if I'm with a woman, like, you know, when you hit that point of no return and you're like, you go hard. But I definitely have way more control than I did before. So that is, to summarize, the 100 days of this no-fap journey, this no-fap report, the semen retention thing. I think what's different about this video and what I bring to the table with this is the fact that you can customize it to suit your personal needs a bit more. Because if you watch one from the no-fap community, they won't tell you to do that. Now, you might actually like the fact of go hard, but you might actually just want to take elements of it for yourself, but not the full thing. And I think this video brings that to the table. So if you haven't watched the other video where I talk about the science behind why you should want to do it, check out that last video, and I hope this helped. So I'll see you in the next video. Peace.